Hey everyone, so today we're doing this, we're gonna cover this article. This is quite a interesting story. It's happening in Tunisia. It says the court hands opposition figures jail terms, so they're putting people in prison. So the thing that the reason that I want to cover this is because every time I see jailing stuff like that, I already it's automatically it has something to do with the West, something has to do with the economy and something to have to do with destabilization. No, I'm not very familiar with the politics, and I don't follow, Tunisian politics and all that. But this is pretty much what happened in Turkey, Hungary, like all these small nations. They're getting attacked by these three letters intelligence agencies and NGOs and all that. They're gonna call it conspiracy and all that. But we're gonna read some of the article. This is from Al Jazeera. And so basically, dozens of opposition figures in Tunisia have been handed lengthy prison terms on national security charges. Yeah, of course, according to state media. So, a number of the North African country, most senior opposition politicians were among 40 people sentenced on Saturdays, including a former justice minister and diplomat. So, like I said, this is quite serious. The critics insist that the charges are trumped down and say they're symbolic of President Kais Saied authoritarian rule. I don't think this is authoritarian. This is very democratic. The reason the West have imposed this democracy is because it's easier to interfere with the elections. So that's why you see this push for democracy everywhere. It's very straightforward compared to an authoritarian type of government like China or all that. Why you can't shake down the. Anyway, it says the TEP, State News Agency, quoting an unnamed judicial official, reported that the sentence ranged from 13 to 66 years. Where prosecutor office was quoted, Johar FM, as saying that the defendants were found guilty of conspiracy against state security and belonging to a terrorist group. Wow, including liaison with foreign powers. Well, that's exactly what I predicted. Like, I didn't even read the article. I just need like one thing. Like once you start to analyze this geopolitics type of stuff, like there's pattern. It's very important to actually learn about history, right? You can go as far as far as back as you want. And actually, like the tactics might change, but the thing it's always the same. So when you see foreign power, it just means the West. That's what it means. Whether it's the United States, some other or European countries. Now, don't sue me. I don't want to go to jail. I'm just like I'm just doing. The precise details of the trial remain cloudy, with the exact number of those trial and specific charges and face unclear. So what they did. It was not immediately clear, either on Saturday, whether all estimated 40 defendants, oh, there's like 40 people, were sentenced in absentia, including the French intellectual Bernard-Henri Lévy, who is accused of being a conduit between defendant and foreign parties. Yeah, but the thing, like, I don't know who got jailed. Is it foreigners or is it Tunisians? About 20 of them. President Said said has weaponized Tunisia judicial system to go after political opposition, and they said throwing people in arbitrary detention on flimsy evidence or pursuing them with abusive prosecution. On Friday evening, defense lawyers denounced the trial after the judge finished reading the accusation. Authorities have accused the defendant, who also include the former head of intelligence, Kamel, as well as media figure, of attempting to destabilize the country and overthrow Said. Just like I predict. And I promise you, I didn't read the article. This is just like uh, a playbook, the tactics from outside forces. So a number of the defendants, including Isam, Shibi, Ghazi, Shashi, Saeed, Jawhar bin Mubarak, have been in custody since being detained in 2023. So one of them is a member of the opposition. So the authority want to criminalize the opposition. So the thing with this small nation, especially when you're dependent on the bigger power, bigger influence, it's like, dude, you can't have like left wing type of political party. The left is going to be uh, smashed and rejected, not by the democratic process in the country itself, but by the the other influence of the other countries, you know, out the regional power and also the international power. So Said rejected the accusation that he's a dictator. He said in 2023 that the accused politicians were traitors and terrorists, and so they basically they will assign any classification they want. The president consolidated the power in 2021 by dissolving the parliament and sacking then the prime minister. The opposition leader involved in the case accused them of staging a coup. They say the charges against them were fabricated to stifle the opposition and establish a one-man repressive rule. Some of Tunisia's most prominent opposition leaders are already in prison. So this is what the article is. I think it's a bad article. Like it doesn't give us like what, who is involved and all that. But of course, this is what you will expect from. This is not a state. This is Al Jazeera. They're from Qatar. So it's like anyway. Like I will keep watching this story because it's quite serious. Like once you start to see destabilization in small nations, like I said about Europe, I predicted. If you watch my channel, follow what I said Eastern Europe, and they did it in Slovakia, they did it in Hungary, and it's just like one by one. So it's if they have like these, I mean, there's also already the crisis in Sudan and Libya and all that. So now you add that to like Tunisia and all that. It's gonna be bad, you know. Anyway, like I don't want to predict anything here, or say something, controversial, but I'll keep an eye on it and then keep you updated if there's anything else. Anyway, see you next time.